Hello, welcome to YouTube channel. In this video, I'll talk on the technique of birth time rectification using Professor S.P. Khullar's cuspal interlinks theory, also known as intercuspal theory or subsublord theory. So we begin with the philosophy of birth time rectification. During a person's birth, a particular zodiacal position rises in the eastern horizon. At that place, we call this as the ascendant or lagna. Corresponding to this ascendant position using the Placidus house system and Khullar and Marsh, we calculate other cuspal positions of planets. An event happens at a moment when the ascendant, that is the degree, minutes, seconds, rising on the eastern horizon at the place of happening is co-ruled by the planets that are significators of the cusps that are taking part in the event. So the first step is to establish moon's relation with lagnas or ascendant's subsublord. So moon star must have relation with lagnas or ascendant subsublord. How the relation happens is if is moon is connected to the day of event and also mother. So on the day of birth, a person's ascendant or lagna subsublord must establish relation with moon. And the subsublord of the ascendant itself may be the moon star lord. The subsublord may or may not have positional status. The star lord, the sublord, or the subsublord of ascendant subsublord can be moon star. It means ascendant subsublord may be a planet whose star lord or subsublord is the same planet as the star lord of moon. If moon comes as the ascendant subsublord, it always establishes relation with lagna. The star lord of moon can be in the star or subsublord, which may be the subsublord of the ascendant. Example, if X is moon star lord and Y is ascendant subsublord, if X is in the star of Y or sub of Y or in subsublord of Y, we say that the relation is established. The second step is to check family links. Third cusp subsublord must relate with immediate younger siblings moon star. Fourth cusp subsublord must relate with mother's moon star. Fifth cusp subsublord must relate with first co-born's moon star. Seventh cusp subsublord must relate with second co-born's moon star. Ninth cusp subsublord must relate with father's moon star. 11th cusp subsublord must relate with immediate elder sibling's moon star. The third step is to check the co-rulers of Lagna. Sun and Moon's Rashi Lord, Star Lord, Sublord and Subsublord, Star and Sublord. And it must appear in 1, 7 and 10. Ninth house signifies a person's father. So during the exact time of birth, stimulation to houses from ninth will happen. Birth is signified by houses 2, that is growth in family, 5th, that is birth of first child, 11th, that is fulfillment of ambition. The stimulation to these houses from ninth house will happen. The second from ninth is 10th, 5th from ninth is first, 11th from ninth is 7th. So stimulation happens to 10th cusp, first cusp and 7th cusp. That is 1, 7 and 10 cusp when a birth happens. So Lagna's co-rulers, Rashi Lord, Star Lord, Sublord and Subsublord, Star Lord and Sublord, Sun's Rashi Lord, Star Lord, Sublord and Subsublord, Lord, Star Lord and Sublord, and Moon's Rashi Lord, Star Lord, Sublord and Subsublords, Star Lord and Sublord must appear in 1, 7 and 10 cusps. If Lagna's sublord has positional status and it appears as sign or star or subsublord of the 10th cusp, then also the condition is satisfied. The fourth step is setting arc. The sublord of the sublord of the ascendant represents the sex of the child as per its placement in the male or female sign, and the sub arc of the ascendant indicates the sex of the child as per its placement in the relevant half. Male and female. Male signs are Aries, Gemini, Leo, Libra, Sagittarius, and Aquarius. Female signs are Taurus, Cancer, Virgo, Scorpio, Capricorn, and Pisces. Male planets are Sun, Mars, and Jupiter. Female planets are Moon and Venus. And planets that do not have any gender are Mercury and Saturn. If the person is male and rising sign is male, then the arc should be more than 50%. If person is female and rising sign is male, so the arc should be more than 50%. If person is male, rising sign is female, arc should be should be more than 50%. And if person is female, rising sign is female, arc should be less than 50%. For male horoscope, so I'm talking about the person. In case the person is male, if in a horoscope all the planets are in the the lords of which are in male signs, then the above rules of setting the arc may be ignored. In other words, arc can be less or more than 50%. Arc for a male horoscope. If sub-sublord of the ascendant's sub-sublord is in female sign, then it is essential that the sub-arc should be below 50% rising for male ascendant and more than 50% for female ascendant. Suppose sub-sublord of ascendant's sub-sublord is Jupiter in female sign. Let's take Cancer. If ascendant rises in female sign, uh, let's take Taurus, then it is essential that the sub arc of sub lord of ascendant should be more than 50%. If the ascendant rises in male sign, then it is essential that the sub arc of sub lord of ascendant should be less than 50%. For a female horoscope, if in a horoscope all the planets are in the the lords of which are in female signs, then the above rules of setting the arc may be ignored. In other words, arc can be set below 50% or more than 50%. Arc for female horoscope. If the subsublord of the chosen subsublord is in male sign, then it is essential that the subsub arc should be less than 50% for female ascendant and more than 50% for male ascendant. Suppose subsublord of ascendant's subsublord is Jupiter, who is in male sign. If ascendant rises in female sign, then it is essential that the subsub arc of subsublord of ascendant should be fixed less than 50%. If the ascendant rises in male sign, then it is essential that the subsub arc of subsublord of ascendant should be fixed more than 50%. The fifth step is justification of past events. Each event happens in the joint period of planets that are fruitful significators of the event. The Sukshma and Prana lords should be strongly linked with the primary and supporting cusps. We may need to adjust time of birth to match the Dasha period lords operating at the time and date of happening of the events. Some examples of events that are taken into consideration for doing birth time rectification are job joining date and time, purchase of car or any vehicles date and time, purchase of land date and time, purchase of house date and time, sale of property date and time, taking possession of a house or occupying a new house date and time. Some other examples are any theft or robbery, big frauds, date and time, a threatening accidents, date and time, foreign travel or long journeys, date and time, marriage date and time, hospitalization date and time, surgeries date and time. Some examples of events are birth of child's date and time, death of a family member's date and time, removal from service date and time, imprisonment date and time, divorce date and time, and the final step is checking promise of for various aspects of life from sub-sublord of each caste. Sub-sublord of each house represents specific significations of each caste. Thus, it should match with with the promise of various aspects of person's life. If a person has attained higher education, like a master's degree, then fourth cusp sub-sublord will involve ninth house or and commit with and final confirmation with favorable houses. Ninth cusp sub-sublord will also involve and commit and final confirmation with favorable houses, because ninth house is connected to higher education and fourth house is connected to basic education. So fourth house must establish link with ninth, and if we cannot find this and the person has done master's degree, then we have to recheck the birth time rectification that we did. 10th house is related to government, third house being 6 from 10th house, and 6th house connected to service. Thus, third house is connected to serving government. Thus, if a person does government contract work, then in his or her horoscope, third cusp and 10th cusp sub-sublord will involve 10th house and commit and final confirmation with favorable houses like 2, 6, 10, and 11. 2 is money, 6 is service, 10 is uh, profession, and 11th is connected to gains or fulfillment of desire. Uh, if a person is in professions like jewelry or finance, then in his horoscope you will see second cusp getting involves 10. If person is in media, IT, or industry or printing, then third cusp involves 10th. If is into a construction line or builder or educational institute, then fourth cusp involves 10th. If is into architecture, stock and share, then fifth cusp involves 10th. If is into medical or paramedical or law, then sixth cusp will involve 10th. If is into public relation, public dealing, then seventh cusp involves 10th. If is into occult science, petroleum, gas, then eighth cusp will involve 10th. If is a spiritual guru, social worker, politician, professor, the ninth sub-sublord will involve 10th. If is into hardware, computer hardware work, then 11th cusp will involve 10th. If is into a hospital, jail person, uh, personal, or if is into foreign export work, then 12th cusp sub-sublord will involve 10th. And if he is into professions like yoga, where he's promoting self, he or she promotes self, then first cusp involves 10th. And in all the cases, final confirmation will happen with 2, 6, 10, 11. Without this, the person will not get gains. So, summary of birth time rectification. The first step is to check Lagna sub-sublord. It must make relation with moon star or vice versa. The step 2 is to check family links. Uh, the person's horoscope must have link with all his family members. The third step is co-rulers of Lagna, Sun and Moon's Rashi Lord, Star Lord, Sublord and Sub-Sublord, Star Lord and Sub-Lord must appear in houses 1, 7 and 10. The fourth step is to fix the arc. The fifth step is to verify past events. It should connect with the person's horoscope. And the sixth step is to check promise of various aspects of person's life by sub lord of each cusp. Many thanks for watching. These are the books that I studied. True Astrology, Basic and Traditional Concepts by Professor S.P. Khullar. Kalamsa and Cuspal Interlinks Theory by Professor S.P. Khullar. Key to Learn Sub and Cuspal Interlinks Theory by Professor S.P. Khullar. And fourth book is your True Horoscope, Birth Time Rectification by Professor S.P. Khullar. So if you want to know more about birth time rectification or would want to rectify your horoscope, then you may study these books, and you from these books you will come to know how you can rectify your horoscope. I do appreciate you taking time to watch this video, and if you would want to get more information on cuspal interlinks theory, then please do subscribe to this channel. I will be making more videos on birth time rectification. Thank you so much for your valuable time. I wish you have a great day and stay safe.